So hi, my name's Miss Hykin. I'm an assistant principal here at Lipson and the head of maths. So I'm going to talk you through the best strategies to revise for maths. Now, the best way really to revise for maths is just to do loads and loads and loads of practice of exam questions and get really familiar with the style of exam questions and just keep going over them again and again and again. Now, you are doing that in some of your lessons, but it's also helpful if you can do that independently and use Sparks to support you doing that. So where would I start then? Where would I start with my maths revision? Well, I would use this website here that is called mathsgenie.co.uk. Now, I would click on GCSE papers to start off with, and I go to Edexcel exam papers. We do Edexcel Maths GCSE. Now, you're either going to be sitting the foundation paper or the higher paper, and you should have an idea of which you're going to do. If not, you can always ask your teachers. So I'm going to assume that I'm doing foundation GCSE, and I've got all of these papers to choose from. So these are all past papers. Some of these are specimen papers, so they're not actual papers that were sat, but they're ones that have been created that are sort of like a past paper. So they're basically practice exam questions. So I might click on one of these, and I've got an exam paper that I can then practice, and I could either print it off or I could make some notes in maybe my Sparks homework book and do the questions there. Okay, so I'm going to have a go at a paper, and that's where I'm going to start off my revision. I'm then going to mark that paper. So this one was June 2017 paper 1. So I can see June 2017 paper 1. Right, there are two ways to mark it. So there's the mark scheme that we use as teachers to help us to mark, and it tells you what you get your marks for. Now, this is sometimes a little bit tricky to use as a student. So what Maths Genie also has is this button here that is answers. And what you've got here is the actual working, so you can see where they've got the answers from. So 2 to the power of 4, I can see is just 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That's how they've got 16. There's also a video that you can watch that explains, it's like a walkthrough. It's like the walking talking mock that you do, and it shows you how each of the questions are arrived at. So it might be worth watching that for some of the things that you get stuck on. What I would then do, once I've marked my paper, I would have a look and think at what I've struggled with. So it might be that I've answered all of these questions and I've got all of them correct, but actually I've really struggled on this question here that is simultaneous equations. So what I would probably do is make a list of things that I need to revise. So simultaneous equations. And you might have another topic. So highest common factor might be another one that you've struggled with. And you can have a look and you can see what the topics are that you've struggled with. And they're mentioned in this video as well. So they go through the topics in this video as you go through. I could then either have a look and self-mark it using the video, or I could then go to Sparks Maths, which we all have logins for, and log into Sparks Maths and use the independent learning section to improve on those questions. So imagine that I was stuck on this simultaneous equations topic. I've watched the video on Maths Genie, I've sort of worked out how to do it, but I think I need a bit more practice on simultaneous equations. That's on my list of things to revise and to cover. I could then go onto Sparks and type in your curriculum GCSE, make sure it's on GCSE here, on the independent learning. So let me show you again, independent learning here, bottom left, and then your curriculum GCSE. And then I could type in simultaneous equations, solving simultaneous equations, constructing and solving, and you can see all the simultaneous equations topics here. So elimination is the type that this one is. So I can have a little look, there's suddenly loads and loads of questions, just like you'd have in a lesson, introduce, strengthen and deepen, that are going to help me with that simultaneous equations topic. So I then have a look, and I can see, oh, here's my first question, that's pretty similar to here. Again, I can watch the video to help me, and I can do it as part of my independent learning on Sparks. So you're doing your paper to work out what topics you need to cover. You're then using the Maths Genie videos to help you with that, and going on to Sparks independent learning to consolidate that. Okay, on Maths Genie, there are also, so say I would want even more practice on simultaneous equations after I've done that. I can click on GCSE revision and I can see all of the topics. There's a selection of exam questions for every single topic that you'll come across in maths. And it's split up by grade, which is quite nice. And again, you've got worked solutions here. So it might be, okay, standard form, I want to do all the exam questions on standard form. So I click exam questions and I can see this is a load of collected standard form exam questions that I'm going to work through. And again, if I go back, I can see there are solutions for each of those questions to have a look at. So just a really good place to get practice papers and to get practice questions, and then to use Sparks Maths as an additional tool to help you revise that. Thank you.